In this week's Torah portion, we learn about the presence and the importance of spiritual journeys in our life. Shalom, my friends. This is the Akiva Gersh with Israel in 5, where we give you everything Israel in 5 minutes. Please like and subscribe. And if you have any questions or want to keep the conversation going, please do so below in the comments. This week's Torah portion is actually a double Torah portion, which happens sometimes, a few times usually throughout the year. This is Matot-Massei, and rounds up the book of Bamidbar, or Numbers, the fourth book of the Torah, 4/5 of the way through. Unbelievable. And in the second half of this week's Torah portion, which would be Masseh, we learn about spiritual journeys. Masseh means journeys, and we learn about the different journeys that the children of Israel took during their years of wandering about and traveling through the desert on their way from Egypt to the Holy Land. Now, we know that they traveled for 40 years, and the Torah recounts 42 different stops, 42 different journeys, essentially, that they took in those 40 years. Now, you might think, okay, 42 divided by 40 is about a year in each place, but that's not the case. There are some places that they stayed for a very long time, sometimes many, many years. One place they stayed over 20 years. In other places, they arrived and packed up very quickly, sometimes within a few days, sometimes even the next day. They never knew how long they were going to be camping and staying in any place that they arrived in on their journey, throughout their journeys during these 40 years. As we know from other sections of the Torah, they were following the pillar of cloud through the desert. It was this miraculous event that was with them all the time. And whenever this cloud would rise up from the ground and start moving, the children of Israel knew it was time to pack up everything and continue their journeys, their physical journey through the desert, through the wilderness, in the very organized way that the Torah describes them to do so. And they did this 42 times. 42 times they picked up, packed up, and started moving until they got to the next place. And they knew when to stop, when that pillar of cloud rested. That's when they knew, and that's where they knew to stop. So it was this 40-year period of wandering on the desert, but knowing every single time you journey that you're being led by God. It's this very, very powerful kind of experience. And we learn from the more spiritual, mystical aspects of Judaism that these 42 journeys that the children of Israel took parallel the 42 journeys that every single person takes in their life. Where we're born into this world and we experience many different things, and we go on these journeys. Sometimes we don't even think of them as journeys, but we go on these journeys throughout our life in order to learn all the lessons that we're destined to learn and need to learn, and to experience all the things that we're here to experience, and have the opportunities to do what it is we're meant to do. And they're organized in kind of like 42 journeys, just like the journeys of the children of Israel. One of the most magnificent aspects of this idea and of this teaching, I think, is the fact that just like the children of Israel spent sometimes a lot of time in one given place, and sometimes barely any time until, before they were told to pack up again and move, so too in our life. Sometimes we need to be in a place for a very long time, sometimes years, sometimes many years, in order to do what it is we were meant to do in that place, and what it is we're meant to gain from being in that place. And sometimes all we need to do is be in a place for a week, for a couple of days, maybe just one day, maybe just one night. And we receive what we need to receive from that place, from being in that place in that quick period of time. So there's all kinds of journeys that we go on. They're not all the same. They're all different. Some are longer, some are shorter. They differ in quality and character, so to speak. But to wrap up this idea of these spiritual journeys that we learn about from this week's Torah portion, we also see something fascinating, because when recounting the places where the children of Israel went, it starts off by saying, and the children of Israel left this place and they went to that place. And then it says, and they left that place and they went to the next place. Now, it basically goes, they went from A to B, from B to C, from C to D, and so on until they get to 42 journeys. Now, there's an idea in the Torah, about the Torah, that the Torah never wastes words. So if we could say something simply, or more simply, it will. So then the question arises, why didn't the Torah just say the children of Israel went from A to B to C to D to E and so on? Why not have to repeat every single place? And here's is an opportunity for an amazing teaching, because it says that the place that the children of Israel left was not the same place that they arrived in. Right? That them being there changed the place itself. They didn't only act in that place, they didn't only learn something from that place or from being in that place. They literally changed the place, right, by being there, by doing what they did and being who they were. And that's really the goal of our lives, that wherever we go, we should leave, so to speak, a positive impact on the place, on the people, on the environment, on whatever is happening there. So these are the 42 journeys that we learned about, the spiritual journeys that we learned about in this week's Torah portion, that parallel the spiritual journeys of our lives. We should be blessed to have positive and meaningful spiritual journeys. All the best and be well.